So today I want to talk to you about how important your completion rating is and kind of how it works. I had a new subscriber leave me a comment about the completion rating and kind of wanted to give a little bit of an insight into it so that she could understand it better and to kind of give you guys some insight too. My name is John McFall and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery. In today's video, I want to answer a question that Angela had on one of my videos regarding giving orders back to the platforms and how that really affects the order and how it affects you as a driver when you're out there doing food delivery. If you get value out of today's video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you're currently a content creator on YouTube in this GigTube space, or you've thought about doing videos on YouTube, McFallRI is looking for somebody to join the team. I'm looking for somebody that would like to do videos on this channel to help people do better when they're out there doing food delivery. My email is down here in all of my descriptions. Shoot me an email if you're interested in doing videos with me. So I want to start by throwing Angela's comment up here. And the first thing I want to say is, Angela, thank you so much for leaving a comment on my video and asking the question that you did. I really enjoy it when subscribers leave comments that I can do videos on to help you guys out. So I'm going to start by reading it and you guys can follow along. Angela asked, can you really dump an order if the prep time to make it is longer than 7 minutes? What happens to that order? Does it go to another driver? Does the app dock you points / dollars or anything if you do that? This was Angela's question, and Angela, the first thing I want to say is you are an independent contractor on these platforms. You're not an employee. You have the right to accept or decline any orders that they send you, and once you actually accept an order, you have the right to give that order back if you feel that you can't do it. There's a few things that happen if you give orders back that do affect you, so I want to start by telling you that yes, you are allowed to give orders back, but this is something that you don't want to do very often. Completion rating is really important when it comes to these apps because they want to make sure the orders that they send out are getting covered, and if somebody has accepted an order, they want to make sure that it's followed through and gets delivered. So the first thing that you really need to think of when it comes to your completion rating, and DoorDash, actually, if you go to the ratings tabs on DoorDash, it will actually show you what your completion rating is, and you want to make sure that you're not giving back too many orders. The way it's calculated is it's only calculated based on the orders that you have accepted and then given back. So it's based on a rolling 100. Basically what this means is whatever you accept and give back, they keep track of your last 100 orders that you've accepted when it comes to the completion rating. The ratio that they use is based on that last 100 orders. So if you give an order back here, it will take you another 100 orders before that give back of that order will fall off. So always keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you keep your completion rating as low as possible. If you get it down to around 80%, you will start running into problems. So what I always recommend doing is keeping that acceptance rating 85 or better percent, and this is so that you don't run into problems. And basically what it means is if you start getting down around that 85%, you're going to have to just bite the bullet until that rating starts going back up by accepting and completing the orders that they send your way. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to accept any of the bad orders that they send you, because acceptance rating is a completely different thing. You can still decline orders as you normally are, and you don't have to accept the orders that you don't want to take to get this completion rating up. But what this does mean is for those orders that you have accepted, you've got to keep those orders and get those orders done to get that completion rating back up. What I recommend that you do is always keep an eye on your acceptance rating, and if you start to see it go down below about 90 or 85%. Just make sure you work on completing all the orders that you've accepted so it doesn't get down around that 85% or lower, because you don't want to start running into problems with this. People have been deactivated for it. There was another guy that commented on another video, and his name is Albert, and I'm going to throw his comment up here on what he said about completion. He said, "How often do you unassign orders? I unassigned 2 orders from Grubhub this past weekend and was giving a violation on Monday." So he worked on the weekend, and then after that weekend, that following Monday, he got a violation on Grubhub because he gave back 2 orders. I don't know what the whole situation was in this instance, and I don't know the whole story, but I'm going to assume that his completion rating was probably a little bit low, like around that 80% mark, and he ended up giving a couple of more orders back. So it triggered Grubhub to send him a notification saying that his completion rating was too low. I'm still waiting on information for the guy. But if you give too many orders back, you can get contract violations. And if you become a serial, give order backer, then you're going to end up running into problems up to deactivations on the platform. So always make sure that you keep track of this number and you're not giving too many orders back, because you don't want to run into a problem on these apps when it comes to completion rating, because it can cause you to not have these apps to work on. The best advice that I can give when it comes to completion rating is only accept those orders that fit your criteria that you really want to take. Don't take crap orders and have to give them back. Only take those orders that are making you the dollars to time and the dollars to mile and the dollars per order that make sense for you. And this will help you keep from giving orders back. Now, in the situation when you get to restaurants, let's say, and they are not going to be done with those orders in a very long time, that's about the only time that I give orders back on the platforms. One other scenario, which I personally do this, is when I'm out here multi-apping and I accept an order on, let's say, DoorDash, and let's say Grubhub sends me a much better order and I want to take that order instead. Sometimes I'll give orders back because of that. But I always keep an eye on my completion rating to make sure it doesn't go down too far, and you should also do the same thing. I hope this gave you a little bit of insight, Albert and Angela, into the completion rating, and it's a very important number that you guys ought to pay attention to. Want to remind you that if you got value out of today's video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. One other thing that really can help you when you're out there doing food delivery is knowing where you are overall. I want to throw my metric spreadsheet up here real quick so y'all can check it out. If you look at the left-hand side, you'll see I always put the start time and the end time. This gives me my total time that I've worked. I also put into miles. If you head to the right, you'll see for each individual app, I put the dollars that I've made, the time that I worked, along with the number of deliveries. Head to the bottom and you'll see it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, and your average per order. If you want to make sure you're doing good out there, it starts by keeping track of your numbers. My metric spreadsheet will show you where you are and show you where you need to improve. So head down into my description and go grab a copy of it for yourself if you haven't already. Also want to remind you that in my food delivery playlist is a whole lot of great lessons on how to do food delivery and make that $25 to $30 an hour. I just did a great 4-part series on multi-apping that takes you from the basics up to some advanced stuff. So if you want to learn how to do some multi-apping, go check out this series and see what you can do. Want to leave you with, I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.